Last night in Leawood, there were many residents at City Hall from not just Leawood, but also Overland Park to react, discuss, and hear about the possibility of the Royals coming to 119th and Knoll. And good on the folks in Leawood. There were some local council members. There were some local state reps, other local representatives who were out there last night, packed house, answering questions and hearing from concerned citizens. Something Overland Park has failed to do. Something Overland Park has no interest in doing. I told you, listen, I told you going into that Overland Park mayor's race, Kurt Skoog was going to win easily. And he did win easily. But I still believed he owed it to his own constituents to answer the question as to whether or not he's a supporter of Major League Baseball being in Overland Park. And he refused to answer the question. That's his prerogative. He's allowed to not answer it. But to be clear, he never answered the question when I asked him 3 times a few weeks back. And I just think that for any politician right now, in any of these communities, whether it's North Kansas City, whether it's Kansas City, Missouri, or whether it's Overland Park, or it's Clay County, or it's Jackson County, or it's Johnson County, for any of these elected leaders to totally avoid answering the question is so weak and so pathetic. And, you know, Jackson County leaders, Kansas City leaders have said, yes, we want the Royals. We want to keep the Royals. We think the Royals will be great here. Up north, I've heard from people, and they've talked, and they've said, hey, if this works out for everybody, we want to make it work. We think it'd be great up here in the Northland. Johnson County and Overland Park, I mean, no one wants to talk. Not a thing. So last night, the meeting took place, packed house. Here was some of the reporting from Fox 4.
We're hearing nothing from Overland Park as to what they're doing. We're hearing nothing from the Royals, nothing from Johnson County, and people are concerned.
Mark Kelly, the president of the Homeowners Association at Hawthorne Place, shares the same sentiment. He started a petition against the stadium at the Asperia campus after the Royals sent out a survey with the top 3 potential ballpark sites.
When they sent the survey out, there were 2 locations in Missouri and only 1 left in Kansas. And I think we had thought that maybe Olathe, maybe the Legends, they seemed like good sites if the Royals wanted to come to Kansas. But we were shocked to find that we were kind of the only option that the Royals seemed to be looking at.
By the way, that HOA president comes off like a bit of a goober. I'm fine with them coming to Kansas. I just wanted them over in Olathe. Like, I didn't want them in my backyard. Not in my backyard. Come on, dude. I mean, just say we think this is a bad location. Don't do the whole, I mean, you sound like a politician there. Oh, well, you know, we welcomed them to Kansas, but at the Legends. But in Olathe, I didn't expect them to be right here at 119th and all. Come on, dude. Do you realize how goofy you sound when you phrase it like that? Just say, we think this is a bad site, and here's why. Don't say, but they could have gone to Olathe.
Kind of like Martha's Vineyard being a refugee city.
Yeah.
Right? Safe spot.
Yes.
Well, not here. And you can come from 8 to 5.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't think he made himself look good. I see what he was going for, but, buddy, you're not helping yourself with that kind of commentary there at all.
It was a full house at Leawood City Hall tonight. The main concerns, traffic congestion, crime, and access to emergency care.
We have 4 hospitals within 2 miles of each other. Menor is right across the street from where they want to build the stadium. Imagine, I just told you that we're going to have so much traffic, we'll be bottled up, you can't move. Imagine there's an emergency and someone's dying and you got an ambulance and the cars are stuck there.
That is a very underrated part of this location that has not been discussed. You got Menorah Medical Center there on the southwest corner of 119th and Knoll. You're going to have a baseball stadium in the area. You're going to have traffic backed up. Who knows how far in any direction on Knoll and 119th, getting into, let's say, a big game in September. And if you live in that part of town and you're a senior citizen or you have family, parents in that part of town who are senior citizens, and God forbid something happens to them, well, you better hope it doesn't happen between, let's say, 5 and 7 p.m. or 9 and 10 p.m. when the game's letting out. You better.
It's a twilight doubleheader at the ballpark.
Try to keep your medical emergencies in the daytime hours. You may want to check the Royals schedule when it comes out and then try to time your medical emergencies around the Royals schedule if you could. In a best case scenario, you'd be helping yourself out. You realize how ridiculous that is and how absurd that would be, but you know what? That's what they're creating down there. When you talk about Menorah being right there at 119th and Knoll, and the Royals thinking about playing Major League Baseball across the street.
Representative Mary Lynn Poskin was at the meeting to hear from constituents and answer their questions. Poskin reiterated that she's not a decision maker for a Royals Stadium proposal, as that will go through the Legislative Coordinating Council.
I am not opposed to it happening in the state of Kansas. Any project that comes, I voted for the Star Bond legislation in the special session in 2024. It has to be an appropriate fit, though. And I think probably the majority of Kansans just think the Legends automatically. We've got all that land. The infrastructure can be built expressly for stadiums and so forth.
It was important to people at the meeting to start these discussions before the end of the year.
One of the things I do know is that even though the Star Bond legislation was extended through June of 2026, Legislative Coordinating Council leadership has said they won't entertain any proposals after December 31st.
Well, that is true. So we're sitting here and we're, 22 days away from the legislative body's self-imposed deadline on when they would consider the Royals or the Chiefs coming across the state line. And from what we've been told by some of these folks, including Ty Masterson, who runs this committee, they have to have something here in the next few days at the latest to then spend a couple of weeks reviewing what the Star Bond would actually look like, what the parameters and the district would actually be for this proposed Star Bond by either of these teams or both of these teams, the Royals and the Chiefs. And as far as we know, that has not happened.
Can't we just pass it and see what's in it? The Pelosi deal?
We could try the Nancy Pelosi angle here, John. That may be what they have to do if the Royals or the Chiefs come to them on December 30th. They're like, hey, we got a Star Bond for you. Can you review the district by tomorrow's deadline? Yeah, sure, we'll pass it and we'll see what's in it after the fact. And then you'll see that the Star Bond includes like all of Johnson and all of Miami County for the Royals, and it includes Wyandotte and all of Douglas County for the Chiefs to be out at the Legends. I mean, it'll be something stupid like that. I'm just, good job by the people in Leawood and Overland Park, but the event was in Leawood, going out there and trying to make a little noise, trying to get some answers, because there have been absolutely no answers from the people that you have elected locally to look out for you. On the text line, Pete, there's no better place than Quivira and Knoll. The original spring campus was built for 15,000 employees. You add in Black and Veatch and all the other large businesses in the area since the original spring campus, and the current numbers are closer than you think to having current traffic and volume in the area. Who cares what some HOA thinks? Since when do large corporations care about HOAs? Live right across the road from your current campus, right off 103rd. Even with a wall, you still hear 435 traffic nonstop. Get over it. Yeah, but if you're at 119th and Knoll in one of those neighborhoods, do you really think you hear a lot of 435 traffic? Maybe you do in the wintertime when the trees are barren in the distance. But that's also not listening to a baseball stadium. That's not listening to Friday night fireworks. That's not listening to the PA announcer. That's not listening to 40,000 screaming fans at 10 p.m. on a Wednesday night. Okay? That's not any of that. I mean, if you can't understand the difference in what's being proposed versus what currently exists in that location and having, a business operation there 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, then I'm not quite sure I can help you on that front. Really not.